May I come in, ma'am?
Please come.
Good morning, ma'am. Sir.
Good morning. Please sit down.
Thank you.
So, Akash,
Yes, ma'am.
you have a scientific background, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have done civil engineering.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not working.
No, ma'am.
You are not. And where do you live?
Ma'am, I live in Meerut.
Meerut.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
not very far away.
No,
So did you come today or yesterday?
I came yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. So tell me about the. Have you heard of ravines?
Yes, ma'am.
Ravines of Chambal.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard? Where is it? Which area?
Ma'am, Bundelkhand area around
Yes,
the
ma'am.
border of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh.
Okay. So why are they notorious? These ravines?
These are notorious for the because of the dacoits that used to be there.
So have the dacoits been eliminated or they're still present?
I think, ma'am, they have been eliminated mostly. Nowadays, not any recent news from there.
We have not heard.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So tell me about volcanic and seismic activity. So how does it happen? How does volcanic activity take place?
Ma'am, volcanism happens due to the release of the pending energy and stresses below the earth.
Right.
And the magma oozes out of the volcano that leads to volcanism. And the earthquake also, the friction at the boundaries of the plates, when the forces are released, it leads to the emergence of energy, which leads to devastation on the surface of the earth.
So can we control it or can we do something which can prevent loss of human life?
Ma'am, yes, as if regarding with respect to the structures, we can apply some measures which can reduce the risk of life and damage that happens due to the earthquakes.
Okay. Do we have a fault line in India? Some area which is under the fault line. It's called a fault line.
I'm not sure about the
Yeah.
fault lines. Yes.
Okay. Doesn't matter. So now let's talk about the internet problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone uses internet, Android, this, that, laptop, etc. Right? So what is happening is that sometimes the internet just disappears.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
it's not there. You can't communicate. It's gone for 1 hour. So they don't warn you also. Like they don't say you're doing something important, so don't do it. And the second issue is the hacking. What do you say on that?
Ma'am, as far as the problem of loss of signal is concerned, so it might be due to various reasons, which might include the loss of power and at the source of the internet service providers. And there might be reasons which include the disruption in signal and with regard to the hacking, it is because of the less number of security measures that we have with regard to
You
cyber
remember
infrastructure.
some name which has been associated with internationally with hacking? Any name you recall?
Sorry, ma'am, I can't
It's
recall.
coming every day. Yesterday, today, the news is containing Assange. Have you heard of that?
Julian Assange.
Yeah. So you know it.
Yes, ma'am, I've heard the name and it's something with regard to the
Chalo
privacy
sir,
issues.
बताइए.
Recently, there has been a lot of emphasis on connectivity projects from Delhi NCR to Meerut and beyond. Can you tell me some of the important projects that have been taken up?
Yes, sir. So first of all, the regional rapid transit system, that's RRTS Metro Rail.
What's the specific feature of this RRTS?
So it provides connectivity from Delhi to Meerut, and it is the metro rail.
Is it a metro rail system? Why is it called RRTS? I mean, why not call it metro?
I'm not sure why it is called.
There's no specific. Any other projects that you are aware of? What about,
So
what about the highway between Delhi and Meerut?
So the recent expressway, Delhi Meerut Expressway, has been completed, and it is operational. And then the various other state highways are also in operation, which emanates from the Meerut to other districts.
Correct. Now, why is so much importance being given to this Delhi Meerut connectivity? What is the importance?
So Meerut being proximate to Delhi has been neglected for so many years, and if you travel from Meerut to Delhi, it has been a nightmare. With the covering 70-kilometer distance, it takes more than 3 hours. It's such a congested roadway it is.
So congestion is one aspect, but what about, in terms of developmental policies, etc.? What is the significance of this connectivity?
So it leads to development of the nearby areas as well, which is around the Meerut, like Muzaffarnagar, and then the highway goes to Dehradun, and then Bijnor districts and Hapur districts.
Now that region that you're talking about is primarily agricultural.
Yes, sir.
So how will this connectivity diversify the economy in that area? Will it help to diversify?
Yes, sir. It will lead to industrial development, sir. The Expressway Industrial Development Authority has been set up, which will undertake the development around the expressway areas. The land prices will increase. There will be opportunities for people around the villages, and the logistics cost.
UP is holding these global investor summits,
Yes, sir.
etc. So, are you aware of what sort of projects are coming to that area, that Meerut and surrounding areas?
So mainly the infrastructure projects are coming, and the setting up of the IT sector.
That means foreign investors will come in with infrastructure projects. What sort of projects are planned by foreign investors? Because there's a lot of emphasis on foreign investment in this global summit.
So I'm not sure about that.
And you had maths as your optional subject.
Yes, sir.
Now, mathematics is very abstract, all right. Now, can you give me some practical applications of some area, say linear algebra? If I ask you for some practical real-life applications of linear algebra.
So linear algebra has application in machine learning and artificial intelligence, where the programs are trained to the computers.
How is linear algebra linked with that?
So it has a theory which transforms the data sets into the acceptable data formats of the machine learning.
So what aspect of linear algebra is concerned with that? I can't see any interesting thing.
So that
Give me some specific explanation.
not really specific, but I have a very brief idea that it has in data interpretation with regard to matrices and the determinants. That is not very much I'm sure about it.
Thank you.
This is about the Nobel Prize in Physics. See, these three people, Astor, Claude, and Zellinger. So they came out with a theory in quantum physics, which has, I've heard, which has made physics, the present time is very, very interesting for physics, because it has added a mystical element to physics. Now, can you explain it to me, because all those parameters are not very clear to me. What have they discovered and what does it imply?
Sorry, sir, I haven't read about the recent Nobel Prize.
Okay. Have you heard about Bell's theorem in connection with their discovery?
No, sir, sorry.
Okay, never mind. Please tell me, you've heard of yoga?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between yoga and exercises? Are they the same or are they different?
So I think yoga is a broader term in which includes many things like meditation, pranayams, breathing exercises, and exercises also via asanas. So and exercises can vary for person to person. Like walking can be an exercise, strength training can be an exercise, and stretching can be an exercise. So I think it's
Why do you call it pranayama? Why don't you call it breathing exercise?
so it has to do with something about prana. I'm not very sure why it is called prana.
Pran. Use the word pran.
Pran.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, okay.
Wonderful. I would like to, there was an incident that goes by the name of Maliana Khan, from where you come from.
Have you heard of this Malyana card?
Yes, sir, I've heard of it. It was a communal riot which took place in 1986 in Malyana.
And what was the controversy about?
The controversy was about the constabulary shooting some innocent, the people who were not proven guilty.
What makes you think that they were innocent?
So they were shot on the spot, and
Many of the dacoits in Chambal, which you answered, were also shot dead on the spot.
so
Shooting on the spot has nothing to do with the guilt quotient.
yes, sir. I'm sorry about
Under what circumstances can you or the police officer use a firearm to kill a person or use proportionate force? I would not say kill, to use proportionate force which can even extend to the causing death of the other person.
So a policeman can use force, for example, when a warrant is issued and he has to undertake an arrest.
If there is no warrant, he can't shoot.
Yes, sir. When a criminal is trying to evade his arrest, then he has the powers to stop him using force.
Right. And in the process, if the obstruction is to the extent that it can cause damage, death, then a proportionate amount of force can be used.
Sorry, sir.
Then a proportionate amount of force can be used to neutralize the other person.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? First of all, I would like you to relax. Don't sit in Savdhan bad position. Sit, relax, cross your hands, and just you are amongst friends. Nobody is here to cross-examine you.
Yes, sir.
We are here only to just, because intellectual knowledge has been tested. We are only here to assess and interact. That is about all. So just relax. And
May I, sir, just wipe out the...
sure. You need a glass of water?
No, sir, I
Take
think.
off your coat.
I think, sir, the light intensity is too much.
Then again, it has to be an interview, not an interrogation chamber.
Yes,
So
sir.
just relax. Just
I'm
relax.
relaxed, sir.
You need some water?
No, sir, thank you.
Now you can take water.
I'm good, sir.
Wonderful. You are amongst friends. The first thing, you don't think that you are in an interrogation chamber, right?
Yes, sir.
So we come down after Malyana, we come to Hyderabad. There was an encounter in which the policemen gunned down the rapists, and immediately after the encounter, they were showered with flowers and sweets were distributed. But the judicial commission that was appointed to look into this encounter found them guilty, and now a murder charge has been leveled against them. Tell me, on which side are you? The judicial commission, or that they should have been fated for dispensing summary justice there at the spot?
No, sir, the extrajudicial killings should be used in rare cases, and it should not be something to celebrate about. And one's motive is to present the criminal to the for the trial, and the police has no powers to dispense justice. It is the authority of the judiciary to dispense justice.
Coming to the other part B, Meerut has also seen the use of the bulldozers by the government in recent times. The use of the bulldozers to demolish illegal constructions. Some people say it has had a very salutary impact on the law and order situation of the state. Others say that the state has usurped the power of the judiciary. It has no authority to use the bulldozers. Now, as a very sharp and an intelligent person of society, tell me, do you feel that the use of bulldozers is justified or it is unjustified, and why?
So I think the bulldozers have always been used for the demolition of illegal unauthorized structures. So it was just, I think, the media which was propagating a false narrative that something has to do with bulldozer politics. And any demolition that takes place, it's with due regard to the process after giving notices. Otherwise, it will not stand in the court of law.
There is a particular term used in Western UP, including Western UP in any case known as the crime capital of India. Western UP in any case is known as the crime capital of India. And there's a term used there, Bahubali. Have you heard of this term, Bahubali? Not the picture, not the movie.
So I've heard Bahubali I haven't heard in the context of Western UP, but in the Eastern UP, the term is more frequently used, I think.
You have not heard of single Bahubali in Meerut?
I'm not sure, sir.
I can understand your choice to keep silent, and I respect that. But define whether East UP or West UP or Central UP, who's a Bahubali? Am I a Bahubali or you are a Bahubali?
No one is a Bahubali, sir.
Then what is the common parlance and the meaning of Bahubali? Don't get scared. I think that you are petrified absolutely just now.
No, sir.
By discussing the word Bahubali, I am not inviting trouble for myself. Without taking names.
In the Bahubali, the word is used for the feudal lords that have captured power in some areas where they have still hold certain influence over the people and the governance there.
And what is the modus operandi of Bahubalis?
I'm not sure about that, sir. Sorry.
Have you heard of booth capturing?
Yes, sir. So the practice.
Have you heard of the term Gunda tax?
No, sir. Then no.
Well, you're very fortunate if you've not heard. Thank you.
Akash,
Yes, sir.
Turkey, Syria, Doda, Joshimath, exciting times for civil engineering?
Sir, I would say a little depressing.
Depressing?
Well, the casualties happening there.
Do you think these are the moments where, as a profession, civil engineers can make a comeback and give it back to what the IT engineers and computer science engineers had taken it away from them?
Yes, sir. Definitely, the scope of civil engineering will increase given the calamities that are happening. And I think it is the reduced role of civil engineering in the planning aspect that has something to do with the toll that has taken place on the lives of humans.
So it has more to do with the bad planning rather than bad engineering. This is what you are saying?
Sir, if we talk about the Joshimath, I think there's something about the both planning and engineering. I won't say much, but planning as something that was neglected, which is.
What was it that took the wind away from, say, brick and mortar industry to the IT storm? Just before you, we were interviewing an IT fellow, a computer science fellow, and now it is a civil engineering that we are talking to, a civil engineer who we are talking to. So give us some perspective on this.
Sir, the computerization has taken over the domain of a civil engineer, because earlier the drawings that are designed was used to be handmade. Our professors themselves used to tell us about the drawings that they used to make. But now many things have been computerized. So a polytechnic graduate can do the work of a civil engineer in a private sector. So civil engineer scope of work has I think reduced to a bit.
So do you think that in the modern times or even earlier, a new technology comes and completely changes human behavior, its metrics, and we are left with our obsolete, basket of knowledge, conscience, and it doesn't matter. Technology comes and wipes it away. Where is the power of human will here?
I think that is what's happening with the coming of artificial intelligence, that they're making the human knowledge obsolete. What remains the human's intelligence and the human conscience. For example, the human conscience will have the most importance in making the relationships with each other, which I think no technology
How
can.
important is the individual will for an administrator?
So I think the individual will is the most important thing for an administrator.
Not the constitutional and penal constraints?
Yes, sir, they are. But if the will is itself there, then the person will look towards the constitution and the laws.
Okay, all the best.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
ma'am.